Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist draws you back in. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So many times when you are in the relationship with the narcissist and you're looking to exit it, or you have exited the relationship, the narcissist will try to draw you back into the relationship. Now, what I mean by that is that we know what a Hoover is now. A Hoover is when the narcissist is trying to suck you back into the relationship. I'm not specifically referring to Hoovers here. I'm talking when the narcissist is continuously contacting you and bringing up the past and trying to have you doubt yourself. In other words, they're gaslighting you, but they're trying to let you or have you believe that they've changed or that they found themselves or that they will improve or they want to rekindle the relationship. They're trying to draw you back into the relationship. And many times how they do that is they will use past events, perhaps holidays or birthdays or vacations that you went on or what they did for you, which was very little, to be honest. But in each and every narcissistic relationship, there are moments when you do have enjoyment. There are pleasurable experiences in these relationships. They are few and far between because intermittently you're being peppered with abuse and gaslighting and the silent treatment and ghosting and smear campaign and on and on. But there are good periods of time before you recognize what you're up against. Now, question for many people in the community, were those enjoyable moments in the narcissistic relationship, were they authentic and genuine on your part? Absolutely they were. This is where many people have to process, was the narcissist acting or were they really enjoying your company and your presence? That's for you to decide, for you to figure out. What I'm sharing with you is the narcissist many times will try to draw you back into the relationship and they will paint a picture of, let's say that they're a victim now. They've come down with some illness or they have some kind of back pain or whatever they have. In other words, they've fallen on hard times. Whether these hard times are for the rest of their life or just a couple weeks or days, who knows? But they will play that victim card frequently with you to try to draw you back into the relationship. Now keep in mind, the narcissistic relationship, it's in a loop, it's on a loop, it goes around in a cycle. And the beginning of the relationship is the euphoric stage or the love bomb when everything is puppies and rainbows. And then you have the devaluation stage and then the discard or the ending. And what they want to do, i.e. the narcissist, is they want to recycle individuals. And if you're thinking about the narcissist right now, the one that you just broke free from or you're trying to break free from, really identify who they surround themselves with. They surround themselves with individuals that they know what they provide for them. That is why so many times the narcissist goes back to past sources of supply. Maybe their mom, their dad, their sibling, their ex-lover, who knows, a friend. But this is why the narcissist, A, has no shame, and B, doesn't care. What they care about is drawing from you a viable source of supply, a beautiful, bright, shining light, if you will. They want to take that and steal your energy away from you. And the narcissist did succeed with taking your energy away from you in the beginning of the relationship up until the ending of the relationship. And then what happened? Well, most likely you got discarded and you had to put yourself back together. You had to process childhood wounds and heal and meditate and grow and journal and talk to a therapist who perhaps unfortunately has experienced the toxic narcissistic abusive cycle themselves. All of these things you had to do. What did the narcissist do? They just went on to another source of supply. They just slithered away and disappeared into the darkness. That's what they do. They pop up when you least expect them. They enter your life when you don't have boundaries or you can't say no, the strongest word in the English language. And remember, when you say no, you're saying yes to yourself. You're saying no to something or someone, but you're saying yes to yourself. All these things I'm sharing with you. Understand that the narcissist at times will try to draw you back into the relationship. Think about a mom or a dad who's the narcissist and they have kids. Well, many times the kids want nothing to do with the toxic aging narcissist, which is their parent, because their upbringing wasn't what they thought it should have been, perhaps. But the narcissist many times will try to offer them money. Hey, come on back in. I'll take us on a trip to the Bahamas or Tahiti for a week or a month. Don't worry about it. I'll pay your mortgage payments. I'll buy you a car. They try and lure people back into relationships that way. And it's not just the mom or dad. It could be a former romantic interest, a friend, a colleague, a business associate, who knows. When the offer seems too good to be true, it usually is. And remember, anything with a narcissist comes with a big rule book of T's and C's, stipulations, if you will. In other words, they will give you, let's say in this case, a trip to Tahiti. Great. Well, what does it come with? They'll tell you it comes with no strings attached. Nothing could be further from the truth. Because why? Because let's say you're on that trip to Tahiti with them that they've just paid for you because they're trying to draw you back into the relationship. Well, you have to be with them now, don't you? Yes, you do. And think about it. You've already identified them as a narcissist. Why would you accept that trip to Tahiti or the Bahamas with the narcissist, even if they're paying for it. What they're trying to do is draw you back into the relationship. And I can assure you, during that trip, they will give you a mini love bomb or mini euphoric stage. Of course, with intermittent testing there, you'd be peppered with some gaslighting and things, but they would try to put their game face on, or maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they just blow up the whole trip again. But this is how they try to draw people back into the relationships. They want people to be recycled so frequently. Now, not everybody. Keep in mind, as I mentioned beginning of this video, the Hoover is not what this video is about, but if you have been hoovered and the narcissist is trying to draw you back into the relationship, understand you shouldn't accept a Hoover. Nothing will improve. It will only get worse because the narcissist has fine-tuned their skills of manipulation, deceit and destruction, lies, and just flat-out untruths. They've gotten better at it, and now they're going to try and test those new tools with you. The other thing is, if you didn't get a Hoover, consider it a badge of honor. It's a good thing. It means you have healed, or you are healing, or the narcissist is looking elsewhere. In other words, you probably put up boundaries. Having said all these things, how the narcissist wants to draw you back in, they want you thinking about them. They want you continuing to be stuck in the narcissistic fog or the devaluation stage. They want you pining for them. They want you wondering if you did enough for the relationship. They want you wondering, are they, i.e. the narcissist, living their best lives? Let's say now that it was a romantic relationship and it ended for you whenever, a couple years ago, let's say, a decade ago, and then the narcissist has now remarried for the 4th or 5th time, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, how can they be with this person? I mean, they look like they're living their best life. Well, first of all, again, you shouldn't be peeking on social media or have any updates on the whereabouts or what the narcissist is doing, but let's say you got some information. Okay, well, is the narcissist living their best life? To the exterior, most likely they are, but that's how they use social media to have other unsuspecting individuals believe that they are doing better than in fact they are. That's one thing. Another thing is that the narcissist is just simply abusing another individual, a person who perhaps could be another narcissist themselves, or a person who doesn't get the wisdom, didn't acquire the wisdom on the narcissistic abusive cycle. So the narcissist won't change. What they want to do is they look for the next new shiny object. They look for the next person to manipulate, for the next person to wear a brand new fresh mask or slap on an old mask from the past, whatever they want to do. But they want people to stay in that devaluation stage, to be confused, to wonder, to pine for the narcissist. They want you believing that your life will not improve without the narcissist's abuse in it. Now, keep in mind, when you were in the relationship before you found my channel, before you got the wisdom, that's exactly what you believed. You believed you couldn't exist without the narcissist. That's why when you got discarded, if you did, there was a huge void and you had to put yourself back together, and the narcissist just went on to the new supply. But the narcissist never healed from anything because there is nothing to heal within the narcissist. All they do is go to other unsuspecting or recycled sources of supply. Wash, rinse, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, whatever that term is. You had to heal. You had to put a mountain of work into yourself, and you had to put yourself back together hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. That is why you're now who you are, the galvanized, the third version of you. Remember, there are 3 versions of you. The version of you before you met the narcissist, when you were going through life with rose-tinted glasses on, probably. The second version of you is when you entered the narcissistic relationship and you were existing in that relationship. And the third version of you is the galvanized version of you. The third version of you is the best version of you. It's where you now see the abundance and doors open for you, and you can create whatever you want to because you've now gone through something and conquered something called the narcissistic abusive cycle that you weren't prepared to meet and or encounter. You didn't know how to wrap your head around it. You didn't even know it existed. It was something completely foreign and alien to you, but yet you did it. You beat it, and here you are. You're getting the wisdom, you're applying the tools, and you're paying it forward. That's exactly the path. So why the narcissist wants to draw you back in and how they try to draw you back in, it's many, many ways. But the narcissist is always testing people. That is what a Hoover is, essentially. Put the Hoover on the side. Let's say that you go to the post box and you get a letter in the mail, and it's from whom? That's right, it's from the narcissist, and it's been years. What happens there? Well, should you read it? I wouldn't. I'd throw it right in the bin, because anything you read, it's going to reopen wounds from the past that perhaps you have or have not healed from. Nothing in that letter is going to be of substance. It's going to be all blame shifting or pointing the fingers at you or saying how they miss you. Or what they're doing there is trying to draw you back in. That's what the narcissist does. And keep this in mind. This is a very, very essential pro tip for you. Any communication with a toxic individual, no matter who they are, let's say it is written, it's an email or a text or a handwritten letter, whatever it is. If you have to actually decipher or try to read between the lines what that message actually means without reading it once and understanding and processing it immediately, that is the cryptic side of the narcissistic communication. Everything isn't as it appears with communication by the narcissist, specifically written, but verbal as well. Point being is your average human being, let's say you got a text from the narcissist and you read it and you're like, oh my gosh, like there are 3 different layers to this. It doesn't mean what it appears on the outside. And guess what? You would be correct. But to the exterior, to somebody, let's say one of your friends, if they read that text from the narcissist, they would be like, oh, okay, well, they just want to meet you for coffee at 4 o'clock on a Thursday, whatever, as an example. And by the way, you should never accept that offer. This is an example for you. But then you're saying, no, that it's not just that simple. It's the location. It's the hour. There are so many hidden layers to that message that only you can decipher, and that is meant for you specifically. Before I close the video, that's exactly like when you used to go to barbecues or events with the narcissist. They would say little digs at you that only you could identify, and the complete people in the room who were oblivious that the narcissist was a narcissist would just probably nod their head or laugh it off or say, isn't that cute? It's amazing how much you two love each other, or whatever it would be. But no, that was a dig meant at you that only you could determine, only you could decipher. And that is the special language that you share with them, that you can understand exactly what they said to you. But you have to process it a few times, because many times their words go back in time to a former life. I hope you process that. So why I'm sharing that is if you're communicating with anybody, let's say it's a new friend, and you have to really think about what they mean, it's not crystal clear. I'm not saying you're dealing with a narcissist. I'm saying you're dealing with a person who's using cryptic words, and you shouldn't have to be getting a catalog or a glossary or looking up words to figure out what exactly they mean. But that's how the narcissist wants. The narcissist always wants you thinking about them. The narcissist wants you not improving. And the narcissist many times will try to draw you back into the relationship. So don't accept the Hoover and stay strong. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. This is a shorter video because I am in a time constraint. God bless you all. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, you guys.